Town of Presque Valley regular town council meeting. Call to order. Thank you everyone for coming. August 25th, 2022. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Kinsinger.
Present.
Councilmember Dickinson. Here. Councilmember Hepperly.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Councilmember Packard.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hunt.
Yes, I'm here.
Mayor Polguta.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to welcome down Pastor Kyle Gustafson. I apologize, sir. From Heights Church, he will lead us in the invocation and the pledge. Sir, if you would just go to the microphone. Okay. Thank you.
All right, well, my name's Kyle. I'm a pastor over at Heights Church. I've been in this area for about 26 years and been a big part of this community, seeing it grow. And so just thank you all very much for serving us and serving Presque Valley. So go ahead and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to thank you for gathering us all here today. God, for everybody in this room, for the sacrifice, the service that they give in an effort to move your community forward. God, I just thank you for them. God, just help us be wise and help us be charitable and selfless as we move forward and make decisions for, after all, for your community. But God, just thank you for this beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for all the blessings that we have. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're jumping right in. Item 3, Certificate Service Awards. I'd like to welcome down Officer Wesley Dennison, Presque Valley Police, 5-year service award.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Town Council, public. My name is Bob Tyser, Chief of Police. It's my honor to read the bio of Officer Dennison. Officer Dennison was hired with the Presque Valley Police Department on July 10th, 2017, and is a graduate of Northern Arizona Regional Training Academy Class 43. Officer Dennison is married to his wife, Kaylee, and they recently had their first daughter, Charlotte. They were here supporting their husband and dad. During his first 5 years of service, Officer Dennison has been assigned to the Patrol Division. During his time on patrol, he was awarded Rookie of the Year and presented with a life-saving award in 2018, which was for saving an infant who was choking, and also a Chief's Commendation in 2021. Officer Dennison is also a mentor to the new officers on the department and is an operator on the Presque Valley SWAT team for the last 2 years. The police department would like to congratulate Wes on his 5 years of service and wish him several more years with our department, quite a few more actually, and thank you for your dedicated service. Congratulations.
I asked him if he wanted to say a few words, and he said, oh, absolutely not. We're not doing words tonight, so that's why we're skipping that part. One more time, round of applause.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Council, the next person that we'd like to recognize is one of our very fine detectives, Detective Philip Machinsky. Phil, please come on up. Phil's being recognized for 10 years of service, so it's going to take me just a little longer on the bio here. Phil began his law enforcement career with the Flagstaff Police Department in 2006. While with the Flagstaff Police Department, he held several different positions, including being assigned to patrol, collision reconstruction, the Selective Enforcement Squad, and as a motor officer. Phil came to the town of Presque Valley in 2012 and spent the next 2 years as a patrol officer before being assigned to the Criminal Investigations Section in 2014. Phil began in criminal investigations working fraud and white-collar crime investigations before transitioning to conducting computer forensic examinations for the department. In 2016, Phil became the first Presque Valley police officer to be certified as both a forensic computer examiner and mobile device examiner. Since the digital forensic program was non-existent with our agency, Phil pioneered this program from the ground up by conducting research, acquiring training, equipment, and software while developing procedural manuals and teaching other officers to utilize these evolving skills. Based on Phil's efforts and expertise in this field, he has obtained tens of thousands of dollars in free training, equipment, and software with little to no cost to the town. Phil is very well known in the digital forensic field and is sought after to assist other agencies in northern Arizona with their investigations and to get their digital forensic programs up and running. The detective coordinated the Presque Valley Police Department Internet Crimes Against Children affiliate agency, and he has been assigned as a task force officer, also known as a TFO, with the Department of Homeland Security. He also serves as an instructor for firearms, the Northern Arizona Regional Training Academy, the National Computer Forensic Institute, and the International Association of Computer Investigative Specialists. The police department appreciates Detective Machinsky's knowledge and expertise, and as stated above, is extremely well known and valued in the field. He is the go-to guy, and we are honored to have him on our team. Congratulations, Phil.
Councilwoman?
Detective Machinsky, I hope I didn't say that too badly. Thank you so much for all that you have accomplished and that you are doing for our community. It is very admirable, and we are so grateful to have you on our police force, and we hope that you plan to stay for many years to come.
Munch. I just want to make it really clear that there is not an agency in this country that wouldn't love to get their hands on Munch and his computer hacking skills. But we have him. He's all ours, and he's not going anywhere. So thank you so much, Sarah, for being here.
Detective, hello again. Thank you for all you do, particularly for our youngest residents, for our kids and our youth. And thank you for your history and for what you continue to do for us. It's so important. And for your skills on the computer, it goes without saying just what it does for our community and our families. Thank you.
Detective, thank you very much for your service and hopefully your continued service. It's amazing the digital stuff we've ran into lately here, and you're well appreciated in that department, and thank you once more.
I was just thinking the same thing with how much times have changed, even probably from when you started with the department. And thank you for keeping updated in all the different studies and all the different techniques and all the different things you have to learn along the way. So thank you for that, and I hope you're also helping train the next generation. So congratulations on this award tonight and for all your service you've given us, and looking forward to many more years too. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for your service that you've given to the town of Presque Valley. We really appreciate it. And again, we hope many more years here. And thank you again.
Munch, great job. I just want to share a couple stories that, for those of you that don't know this detective and what type of person he is and what type of worker he is with the Presque Valley Police Department. Recently, we just got a mascot for the town of Presque Valley Police Department. And there was a campaign going on in regards to what they were going to name this mascot. And the officers actually put together a pretty vital campaign, I would say. They wanted to name it Munchie. So then Munchie would then take a munch out of crime. And that was based off of this individual right here. So, I mean, who else can say that when it comes to trying to have a mascot named after them? And then another story about this individual and what type of person he is. Despite whatever his workload may be, despite whatever cases he has going on, and whatever he may have going on in his personal life, he's an individual where if you went to him and you asked for help, he would help you. And one time there was an officer that needed help roofing his new home. Needed help. They were going to put together a roofer, and they brought together a crew, and Munch was one of them. And Munch wasn't a very good roofer, but he said he was going to go. And you asked, you laugh, and you're like, well, how do I know he wasn't a good roofer? Well, Munch fell off the roof while he was trying to roof. So, but that didn't stop him, though. He was still that individual that was willing to help, and that says a lot about who he is, and we are definitely lucky to have this individual working for us. So, again, sir, thank you. Once again, they were offered to speak, and they declined. So just so we all know. Next up, we have Casey Van Haren, Community Service Director, 10 years. Come on down, ma'am.
You know, Mayor, Council, I had written all these nice things to say about Casey, and then I saw her husband earlier, Trevor, and he said, "Are you going to roast Casey tonight?" So I'm torn. Do I roast, or do I say nice things? What does everybody say?
Roast.
You roast? Roast? Okay, we'll do a little bit of both. While I'm talking, don't be too surprised if a marching band or a mariachi band or a three-ring circus comes marching in, because that's just what Casey is. If confetti comes raining down from the ceiling or balloons, then that's our community services director. I don't know if Casey realized this, but when she signed her offer letter 10 years ago, it was a 10-year contract. So this is your 10-year anniversary and your retirement celebration. So congratulations. I'm just kidding. Don't go anywhere. Casey's had a lot of titles since she's been here. She started off as our assistant library director, became our library director. She's now our community services director. She keeps adding things to her resume. My favorite title of all, though, is the head ignoramus. So there was a time a few years back when we had a pretty significant snowstorm, and we had somebody that was upset that we kept the library open, and they emailed her this nasty gram and calling her a head ignoramus. So we made her a certificate. I don't know if she still has it or not. Is it in your office? So that was great. All right, now for a few nice things. Well, 10 years seems like a lot longer than that, Casey. Casey's not your typical librarian walking around shushing people. In fact, she may be the loudest one in the library. Casey brings vibrancy and enthusiasm to work every day and inspires her staff to reach new heights. She is a dedicated and professional team member and is currently serving as president of the Arizona Library Association. She is passionate about keeping the library a welcoming environment to all members of our community. Casey has worked at the town during a transformative time, helping to merge the library and parks departments into the new community services department, always focused on providing the best experience possible to residents. She is always thinking about the next big thing and is not afraid to challenge the status quo. Casey is a little essence of our team values, including service, integrity, respect, teamwork, and most of all, fun, right? We look forward to many more years with Casey at the helm as we continue to grow our community services department with world-class venues and events. Congratulations on 10 years.
Let's start on this end, Councilman.
Wow, Casey, what can I say? One of the things I like about Casey, whenever you see Casey, she has a smile on her face. You can tease her. Whatever the case, she's always willing to give you a hug. But Casey, congratulations on 10 years. And I wish you many, many, many more years. Excuse me. And because you are the right person at the right position. Whenever the town has asked you to step up, you've been more than willing to step up to take additional duties. And thank you for doing that. So appreciate it again.
And Casey, you've also taken on arts and culture too, right? So you're a person with many hats, which is amazing, and your energy, it seems to be boundless. So thank you so much for everything you've given to our community. I hope you ask for help still when you need it, or at least delegate. And thank you so much for all your hard work, because it really shows. Thank you so much.
Well, Casey, you got that picture of the trail? You know,
Did, I sent it today. I'll be up.
Casey's my go-to lady when it comes to trails, and she's, because I walk a lot out in the Stone Ridge area, but She is, she answers quickly. I sent that picture to her. It's part of the trail up there where the fence fell down. But anyway, she took care of it. That is commendable, and I hope you stick around for another 10 years. I'm not going to be on the council much longer, but I'm still going to send you pictures, okay? Thank you.
Casey, I love your energy. I love your cheerleading. It's so needed in an organization like this. I was talking to one of our past employees in Parks and Rec the other day, and he was raving about you. And so, Brandon. And so, every time I call you, you answer. You always have great ideas. I love the way you do things. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sticking around. You're a really important person.
Casey, I feel like we don't need to look any further than 2 weeks ago at the amazing success of Fandemania. You are truly a woman after my own heart. I mean, I was going to say, who else lets me dress up as Wonder Woman for 8 hours? But just to build that event up to what it is now and what it's just going to keep continuing to growing to be, to just reach out to so many possibly overlooked members of the community and to bring them all together and give them a place to call home is amazing. So thank you.
Casey, we're so fortunate to have you. You're like the ever-ready bunny. You've got more energy and ideas. It's just incredible, all the things, all the different areas that we've branched out to over the last couple of years. And like America's Got Talent, Presque Valley has talent. If I had a golden buzzer up here, I'd push it right now, and we'd have gold confetti coming down. Thank you so much for everything you've done. We look forward to more exciting and interesting ideas to come in the near future.
Casey, I'm sure 10 years ago, you weren't thinking that you were going to be talking about pickleball or splash pads, disc golf. Those weren't things you were going to be involved in, but what'd you do? You took it on, you took it running, and you're killing it. You know what I'm saying? So just exactly what the council said, exactly what Ryan said. You're truly an all-star, and we appreciate what you do. And unlike the other two officers, I'm sure you're going to have a couple words to say.
Mayor, council, esteemed guests, it's wonderful. I can't believe I've been here for 10 years. My husband Trevor and I moved up here 10 years ago, and like most 40-year-olds moved back in with their parents at that time. That was fun. But really, I can't believe the opportunities that I've had here with the town, the support from council and executive management to let me do what I want, which is important, and most of the time. And of course, the most important is our staff. Our staff is amazing. We couldn't do the things that we are doing without them. Nick actually fixed your fence, Dawn, probably. I mean, I could have gone up there, but it probably would have fallen down again. But it's wonderful to work for this town. Again, I can't believe it's been 10 years, and our staff, it's all of them. It's all of them too. So without them, we wouldn't get a lot done. So I have to thank them just as much as anyone else. They're amazing. So, and thank you.
One more time, everyone. Next up, everyone, you guys are all in for a treat. Transit kickoff and media outreach announcement. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. So, yes, we do have a treat for you. If the community, our new member or family member of the Avalon Regional Transit System is here.
There's usually like walk-up music or something like this we should be having.
We should have thought of that. So, excellent. So, yes, we wanted to bring some items to your attention, some items that we're very proud of. A lot of fun things going on right now. So the Communications and Public Works Department, we've worked really hard over the last year, and we have want to introduce to you Yav the Have. He's wonderful. Some marketing items and then a promotional video as well. So let's go ahead and start off with Heidi and her team.
So through a long process, we birthed Yav the Have here, and he's going to be our transit mascot. And so we also have some marketing materials with a mascot, cartoon mascot, that will help us to market this. And we also, I think you have on your table tonight just mock-ups of the brochures. Those are not the final, but, and the flyers. And so we're planning to kick off on September 12th. And so we're going to be hitting the media really, really hard to make sure that this is a successful kickoff. So I also just wanted to say, if you guys have seen the transit vans, LaToya designed those wraps, and they are outstanding. Those vans, they look professional, they're sharp, they're eye-catching, and she's a rock star. and Pedro has been a pleasure to work with through this whole process, and so I just kind of sit back and go, man, you guys are great. So anyway, I'm going to introduce LaToya. You want to talk a little bit about the marketing materials? Okay. So Pedro, back to you.
LaToya, I just want to interrupt for a moment. We talk every day, and
Yes.
I never knew that you designed the wrap on that, on the bus.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, great job.
It's just one of the many things I do. Just
So-
add it to the list. No,
be proud
that's
of
the
that.
other duties as assigned.
So, great job on that.
But thank you so much.
So now we just wanted to provide you with a little glimpse of what the transit service would look like. We have a 30-minute promotional video and
30 minutes.
second.
The mayor's face. That's funny.
Excellent. So this is the 30-second version. We have a 2.5-minute version, but we'll provide those or distribute those soon. And then just lastly, we had, again, I'm very lucky to have the pleasure of working with the Communications Department. They've been key, an outstanding team. I thank them very much, and as well as you have to have. So, and lastly, just wanted to invite you to the, well, first off, we have the release date of our mobile app. That will be September 6th. And then second is the ribbon cutting ceremony, which will be September 8th at 4:30 here at the library. And as mentioned to you before, the service begins September 12th. So that's what I have for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job.
Almost forgot. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I almost lost it there. Presque Valley PVTV, our videographers and our community access channel, that would be Mark Stone and Ryan Nichols, and they produced that video and a longer one to go along with that. And so they're part of our communications team, and I just wanted to give a shout out to them too for the excellent work.
Great job. Thanks, everyone. Is that Norm in there? No? Item 5, call to the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any persons wishing to address the council must complete a speaker card located inside the entrance of the council chambers and deliver it to the town clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. Clerk?
Mr. Tom Chase.
Welcome, sir.
I don't know, this is a tough act to follow, a donkey or whatever it's supposed to be. Anyhow, we got our street bike striped. I don't know, to me, that's a little bit the horse before the cart, if you want to talk about barnyard animals. The fact that we're going to tear up the street, I don't know. Not my decision, but I thought it was a little odd. Although they are out, looks like marking our street, so I don't know if it's been, a contractor has been selected or not to start the work. Again, I'm still concerned about Jasper and the road going through and what's going to happen to Sunset. With all the traffic, it's going to take the traffic off of our street, but having the turnoff to come on Sunset where people come into Fry's Entertainment Center and all that stuff, they're going to be bombarded with the traffic. Or they're going to keep going to Culver's and head to Presque. Just my opinion, anyhow. But I would like to know if we've made any advances on any of that. Gilbert came to my house the other day, last week, so I appreciate that very much. We talked about a few things. I don't know, there's still just a lot of stuff that's unanswered, that's out there, that's been going on for 5 months. I lost my next door neighbor. They're really a great family. They've been here to the council meeting, expressing their concerns about the traffic and everything. Well, their 16-year-old daughter almost got ran over taking the trash out last week. So they decided to get out. So their lease was coming up, but the uncle owns the house. That wasn't the problem. But they felt so very unsafe on our street. And that's right next door to me, taking out the trash, where she had to dodge a car because they were going down the street, barreling down the street as they do. The traffic has gotten worse because school's in session now, okay? Especially in the PM, they go flying down. And 45 or 50 is the speed that they're going by, let alone all the construction stuff that's still going on where they're coming through. Again, 95% of them don't live in our neighborhood, but they use the road. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Clerk?
Robert Elwell.
Welcome, sir.
Mayor and council, thank you for the opportunity to speak before you this evening. We truly appreciate everything you do for our community and believe that you all want to make PV a better place to live and raise a family. One of the clearest signs of a culture that is becoming morally sick is its inability to protect the hearts and minds of its children. I'm afraid we are beginning to see the signs of this type of cultural sickness coming to the Presque Valley Library. During the month of June, the library had on prominent display several books with extremely graphic sexual content that could have easily been picked up by passing children. I presented these concerns to the Library Board of Trustees in the meeting in July and received no response. In a June 21st Instagram post, the library account stated, "Hey tweens, no matter who you are, we're proud of you every single day. Visit the tween scene this month to read books about all kinds of different identities and maybe even learn something new." Through this post, our library is advertising that it wants to discuss sexual orientations and identities with 9 to 12-year-olds. It is solely the job of the parent, not the library, to introduce these topics to their children when they feel that their own children are developmentally ready. Currently, there is a sign in the children's section directing them where to find books on such topics as abortion, birth control, date rape, HIV/AIDS, LGBTQ+, sex, and STDs. The sign reads, "Look for the numbers on the nonfiction shelves to find the topic you're searching for. If you need help, library staff will assist you. No questions asked." Many in this community have an issue with the library directing children to books on sex, birth control, STDs, and LGBTQ+ with, quote, "no questions asked." The first question asked to a young child who is seeking a book on sex should be, "Where is your parents?" All of these things make us very concerned that the library will once again have sexually graphic books on display during its planned Banned Books Week display scheduled for 18 through 24 September. With all of these concerns in mind, we propose 3 reforms for you to consider as a town council. The first, change library policy so that books with graphic sexual content are not put on display tables or display shelves. Number 2, introduce a system in which books with sexual topics cannot be checked out by minors without their legal guardian's approval or some form of consent on file. And number 3, record library board of trustee meetings either on audio or video and make them available to the public in a timely manner. There's a coalition building around this issue in the community who will not back down until our children are protected. I've emailed you all the documents and materials referenced in these comments to the town council address. Thank you for your time and consideration on this matter.
Thank you, sir. Clerk?
Mr. Larry Kennard.
Welcome, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council, I just want to echo my support for these reforms, for this explicit literature that is on display for children to see without any kind of guardianship or any kind of parental control. So that is my support.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming up. Clerk?
Mr. Pat George. Pat George.
Welcome, ma'am.
City Council, thank you for your hard work for our wonderful city. We appreciate every one of you. I also am in support of these 3 reforms, and that the City Council would take these reforms into consideration for our children, to protect our precious little ones that are our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Clerk?
Marianne Kennard.
Welcome, ma'am.
My name is Marianne Kennard. I've been a Prescott area resident for over 10 years, and I also support, along with our group, these 3 reforms that Mr. Robert Elwell addressed for your consideration. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Clerk?
I have no one else.
Thank you, ma'am. Folks, I just want to thank you for coming out. I know you take a time out of your day to come out and speak to the council, so we recognize that. We appreciate it. Moving on to item 6, council communication, summary of current events. Councilwoman Dickinson, lead us off, please.
I have nothing this evening.
Councilwoman Hepperly.
This Saturday, I highly recommend heading way out to the racetrack / wheelhouse out on 89A going towards Mingus Mountain. Not only do the races run every Saturday, but there's also, if you haven't been out to the wheelhouse since it's been developed, you definitely should go check it out. And there's a boxing gym out there. A new dance studio is having their grand opening party all day Saturday, 9:30 to 1. And we're going to be doing a little, the open house is a fundraiser, an additional fundraiser to Dancing for the Stars. So all the proceeds raised from that event, raffle tickets, everything is going to be donated to the Boys and Girls Club. So yeah, definitely go out and check it out.
Yay, good luck, April. I just want to remind everybody of Patriot Week 2022 is September 9th to the 17th. Install flags at 7 a.m. on September 9th. The Patriot Fun Run is 7 a.m. on the 10th, and the Blessing of the Fields is at 10:30 on the 10th. There's going to be a fabulous ceremony on September 11th at 6 p.m. on the Town Center stage, and then a concert on September 13th at 6 p.m. on the Town Center stage. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman? Councilwoman?
And just to add to April's statement, it's not way out there. From Granville to the wheelhouse is still only about a 10 to 15 minute drive. So no matter where you are in town, it's worth it just to go out and possibly see more pronghorn out in the wide open spaces. It just seems long because it's wide open spaces out there.
Councilman? Moving on to item 7, Mr. Davidson, manager's report.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, the only report is just we have some scheduling updates for the council and the public. So next Thursday, we do not have a planned study session. Most of the council will be attending the annual League of Cities and Towns Conference down in Glendale. On September 8th, we will have a study session that will start at 3 o'clock, and it's going to be focused on some water issues. At 4:30, we'll have the ribbon cutting as highlighted here for the Yava line, and then our regular meeting at 5:30. Then the following week, there will be an off week, and then back to our regular schedule. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, item 8, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. Council, I will be recommending we remove item E as in Edward from the consent agenda and be voted on separately. So if there's not any other items, I'll take a motion for consent agenda approval for every item except E as in Edward. We have a motion by Vice Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move the consent calendar by electronic vote.
I'll second.
Clerk, we have a motion and a second. Please call the vote.
The passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. And Chief Tyser, if I welcome you down, if you'd like to discuss item E for separate vote.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Bob Tyser, Chief of Police. Great to see you tonight. And thanks for pulling this very important topic tonight so we could give a little bit of background here to yourselves and the community. As we all know, the body-worn camera program was approved and funded by this body. Today, my intent here is to brief you upon the agreement that we have with Axon as we move forward with this 10-year agreement to put the body-worn camera program in place with our police officers for this town. Do we have the PowerPoint?
I was not given a PowerPoint.
Okay, I thought we had the PowerPoint, so I'll just go off this. I apologize for that.
You're fine.
The first part of it's the history. The question is why. And there's several whys when it comes to body-worn cameras and tasers. First is officer safety. That's number one, first and foremost. These devices have GPS so that our dispatch center, they know where our officers are. It can also affect our reduction in uses of forces in the field, but we'll know where the officers are. It can also be used for tactical decision-making. So when officers deploy their body-worn cameras in the field, commanders, supervisors can actually view what the officer is seeing from either an incident command post or even from their phones. So there's some really good usage in there. This will also be devices that are going to be used to improve our training for our police officers. We can continually review how our officers are working in the field to see how they're doing and look for improvements. And we can also have spot checking by our supervisors, audits if you want to call that, where they can take a look at how the officers are working and they can provide good feedback to them. And that's a really good thing. The second part of that in the why is evidence for court. Today's society really wants to see video, and this will provide that to them. So it also will reduce complaints. There's been information across the country that there's frivolous complaints against police officers. You pull up the body-worn camera and say, this is exactly what happened. So there's some real benefits there. And it does build trust and expectations in the community. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the pilot program. We piloted the body-worn cameras back earlier this year with 4 officers in partnership with both prosecutors' offices. Ours here in the town is also the county attorney's office. And we just recently interviewed and will be hiring a position in our records division. That gentleman will be coming into work end of September, and he'll be managing that body-worn camera program from the records management program. So that's going to be really important. Our current tasers that are, now this is the same company. Axon has the body-worn cameras and also they have the tasers. So as we work through this contract, we were able to now upgrade our tasers that the officers carry and deploy in the field. They're out of warranty, they're quite old, and we're going to be able to get new tasers to go into this. So the efficiencies, when the officers are out in the field, they can actually upload their body-worn cameras right to the iCloud, put it right up there. They can put photos from scenes, move it right up into the iCloud. They can also work with community members that may have video on their phone that they may have taken witnessing a traffic crash or another crime, and we can just merge that right in the field and upload it right to the cloud. Auto tagging is important, so when the officers use the body-worn cameras in the field, they won't have to manually input the report number or the incident number. That will automatically be tagged and will be able to be managed that way. And that would be very helpful for distribution of the cameras footage to the county attorney's office, to crime victims and such. So that's a really good thing. There's a few other things in the software that we were able to negotiate and work through with Axon. That's the redaction capabilities. So when our records clerk, our clerks are providing information out to the community, there's redaction software that will make that very easy to do. That's a really good part of it too. Automatic transcription and search capabilities is something that's came new in the last few years that I've noticed with Axon. So when we have the body-worn camera footage on the computer and we're watching it, sometimes these can be very lengthy. Sometimes they could be an hour or two hours long, and oftentimes it takes a lot of time to work through that to find what you're looking for. This new software in there has automatic transcription, so if you're looking for a particular word or phrase, you can put that right in there, and you can just go right to, it'll just automatically take you to where that's at in the video, so it's really pretty neat, and has the narrative scrolling in the video that you're watching post usage. This will also be successful with the migration of our current police department digital evidence, so there's some real benefits there. And the last part is the purchase. This is a purchase of 87 body-worn cameras and the mounts that will go for all sworn personnel in the department and our animal control officers because they have that interface with the public. We thought that was very important. We do not provide at this time cell phones for every employee in the department, so we were able to negotiate, it's called an iPod touch device, similar to a cell phone that officers can use to manage the videos, the pictures, taking other citizens' video, merging in, working through it, so it's all right there at their fingertips in the field. We'll also have 80 tasers, the holsters, cartridges, and training equipment. Hardware and software for upload will be there. This will have unlimited, secure, cloud-based storage. And we negotiated in there the replacement over the 10 years with the body-worn cameras and taser training equipment. The tasers will be every 5 years, body-worn cameras every 2.5 years. The technology is completely changing all the time, so that's something we'll be working on. And then the training and 24/7 support. We worked very well with our town attorney's office here. We have the town attorney's office here that may answer any questions you have related to the contract, and this was with the Sourcewell Co-op. So if there's any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, and if not, we can move to the town attorney if you have any questions there, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Hepperly.
What kind of learning curve do you anticipate for all of this? It sounds very high-tech, and you have officers, you know, early in their career, later in their career, and some of it could be a challenge, I imagine.
Mr. Mayor, Council Member Hepperly, that's a very good question and alerted me to say one thing I forgot to mention. This software does, when officers are in critical, just like people, when we're in critical situations, we may think about the emergency and forget something else. This software will be hooked into the holsters as well as the taser, so if they come out of the holsters, it will automatically turn the body-worn camera on. So that is a real good part of it. So as far as the usage of it, I've been familiar with this particular product for the last 12 years, and I've been around a long time, and it was pretty easy to understand. It's really a pretty simple device that goes on it. When the officer is ready to turn it on, all they do is tap it twice, and it's on. And it'll also go back 30 seconds, so without sound, but it'll capture what the video was for the previous 30 seconds. So that's a really important part of it. So it's not much more difficult than that. And then you turn it off, you charge it, the automatic uploads go up. It's a matter of just making sure the muscle memory knows when we're supposed to turn it on and not, and we'll work through that with our policy. And then obviously, police officers are human beings. They will forget periodically, and we'll remind them, but then it'll just become routine. So it's really not that difficult for the learning curve, even for folks have been around a long time.
Anything else for the chief?
Yes. Chief Tyser. So in choosing Axion to provide this equipment, were they top of the line? They appear to be state of the art. And I'm curious if they will be providing this training that you're also discussing.
Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman, this is I'm not going to advocate for which companies are out there, but I'll tell you this one. I've worked in 3 different agencies with this device, this software, this system, and it's excellent. It works really well. The 24/7 support that is negotiated into the contract will make that available for us. That includes training. So we will make sure we follow up on that with Axon. And it's an Arizona-based company too, which they've been around for more than 30 years down in Scottsdale. They're very well known.
And will they be providing the training? Will they be assisting in that?
Yes, ma'am, they will be assisting us in that.
Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Is there any place where this is not effective? Like I know sometimes when you go into Walmart, you can't get cell phone service. Is there any place like that where the cameras might not work?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Schumacher, no, they're not working off cell phone data or anything like that. It's just a charged battery in there that will just turn on. So I've not, in my experience, found anywhere that it wouldn't work unless you're perhaps in water, in a pool or something like that. But I can't see any other place that it wouldn't work.
All right, thank you.
From my experience.
Anything else? If not, I'll take a motion. A motion by the Vice Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve an agreement with Axion Enterprise, Inc. for body-worn camera equipment and software and taser equipment and training in the amount of $2,768,751.62 over a 10-year period by electronic vote.
We have a second.
I second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Dickinson? Thank you. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item 9, new business, Class A bingo license for Villages at Lynx Creek, consideration and possible action. Clerk, are you taking this?
Yes. This application is for a renewal of a Class A bingo license for Villages at Lynx Creek located at 12200 East State Route 69. Bingo is held at this location on Tuesdays beginning at 6:30. And after the public hearing, Town Council has the option to recommend approval or disapproval. And this is a standard renewal of a license. We have to do this annually.
This is a public hearing, which I'll open up. Does anyone here wish to speak for or against bingo? No, I'll
I
close the
believe we
public
do
hearing.
have Cynthia, the applicant. Do you want to come say a couple words?
Cynthia, come on up. How are you, ma'am?
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I'm putting in the request for the renewal of our license out there. We have an average of between 65 or 70 people that come to it. It is on Tuesday nights, so you're all welcome. But that's it.
Excellent, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm going to close the public hearing. Council, do you have any questions or comments in regards to this? If not, I'll entertain a motion. I have a motion by the Vice Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a Class A bingo license for Villages Bingo by electronic vote.
I second.
Second from Councilman Kinzinger. Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Dickinson?
Yes.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to item 9B, FDP 22-013, Pronghorn Self-Storage. Mr. Gonzalez, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council.
This is the final development plan for Pronghorn self-storage, and the PowerPoint will be coming up just a minute. There it is. And it is FDP 22-013. The site is actually located on Pronghorn Ranch Parkway. It is 4.2 acres. The property is zoned currently PM Performance Manufacturing. The use is allowed by matter of right. There is actually a sliver of a different zoning on that parcel that was done as part of a survey. The applicant has gone before the Board of Adjustment and has acquired a use permit to allow this use on that portion of property. The applicant is hoping to construct, maybe not, there it is. The applicant is hoping to construct a 64,700 plus square foot facility, self-storage. They will have on the exterior, as you can see in the parking lot, RV parking as well. This use is consistent with the general plan. A traffic study or statement was conducted, found no negative impact on the existing roads going to be as part of this project. As you can see, all site development standards will be met as part of permitting. This is a landscaping plan. This is a very generous landscaping plan. There's actually 15 feet in the rear surrounding.
Vice Mayor's super stoked about this.
Yes.
You know that, right?
This is really well done. Yeah, the applicant really went out on this. They will be fencing around the property as well. And this is a rendition of the property. It will be a two-story facility. There'll be a residence on the property for a person who's going to manage that property. At this point, staff is recommending the council consider approving final development plan 22-13. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time. And the applicant is here as well. I'd be happy to answer any technical questions.
I think this is a great project. When you said fence, did you mean block wall? Okay.
Yes.
You can come on down, ma'am.
Yeah, come on up.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm Michelle Bach with the APC Architects, so the architectural design and engineering firm representing this project. So I don't know if you can go back a couple slides to the site plan. The perimeter of the property is lined by single-story buildings, so they act as the screen wall. So it is a solid block concrete wall, but it's all design integrated to the main two-story building. So and then there's a gated entrance kind of on Pronghorn. There's a little bit of fencing next to that just ties into the building for the sliding gate.
So the two-story building is like a climate-controlled storage, individual storage?
Correct.
Perfect. You did a good job on the landscaping thing.
Thank you.
Is this mainly for Pronghorn residents, or is this open to the public?
It is open to the public. So anybody can come and sign a rental agreement.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anything else for the applicant or Mr. Gonzalez?
Thanks, okay.
Not, I'll entertain a motion. I have a motion from Councilwoman Dickinson.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor, or in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign resolution number 2022-2272, adopting FDP 22-013 by electronic vote.
I second. Second from Councilman Kinzinger. Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Dickinson?
I pressed it several times. I don't know what happened here. Yes.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Ma'am. Moving on, item 9C, the Nature Conservancy grant. Welcome, ma'am.
There.
My name is Tracy Lund. I am the new Water Resources Project Manager, and I'm delighted to be talking to you this evening about a pretty exciting opportunity here for the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition. We are partnering with the Nature Conservancy for a grant to create stormwater management plan for the Upper Verde River. Are you driving or am I driving? Okay, all right. Won't touch the buttons. All right, so just thought I probably should tell everyone, the folks here and the council, remind you what the Upper Verde Watershed Protection Coalition is. It is a collaborative of local governments. So Presque Valley is a member, Chino Valley, Presque, the Yavapai Presque Indian Tribe, and Yavapai County are all members. It was established in 2006, and it is operated through member dues and grant funds. Presque Valley, of course, is the fiduciary agent, and our purpose is to protect the flow of the Upper Verde River and achieve safe yield in the Presque AMA. We've had a lot going on right now. We're implementing, early on in the process, been implementing 2 NRCS grants for a combined total of $5.7 million. And we are also continuing work on the rainwater harvesting for aquifer recharge grant that we've got with ADWR. We have 3 pilot projects that have been constructed. We're monitoring, making sure that they are all working fabulously. We are always looking to conduct ongoing public outreach and communication about water conservation and recharge within the watershed. So any opportunities that we are afforded, we can do that. And we're also attempting to reinvigorate the forest products industry in Arizona through juniper removal, and that not only helps protect against wildfires, it also increases aquifer recharge. So we're all about the recharge. We're gonna do it any way we can. And now we are going to be, we have a grant available to us through the Nature Conservancy as the grantor. The coalition is the lead agency, and of course the grantee is Town of Presque Valley as the fiduciary agent. It'll be $150,000 over the course of 2 years, and we can use that money because it's a private pool to match for federal and state funds. So pretty exciting. This will, we don't have the federal or state funds yet. We're still looking into exactly which pool we're gonna be getting those funds from. The project process, we're gonna be talking to stakeholders in the watershed to identify projects, and with those stakeholders, figure out which projects are the priority projects that we're going to be including. And we're gonna be talking about legal concerns and creating consensus amongst those various stakeholders to make sure that all of these projects are gonna be able to move forward. We will be hiring a consultant with the funds to write up the master plan. That master plan will contain any design concepts that are available to us at the time. We'll be identifying, of course, the project partners and, of course, the benefits and costs of those projects. And we're going to, in the end, have a stormwater management plan that we can use as a roadmap for going forward for different environmental projects in the Big and Little Chino subbasins. And it's going to be driven by the folks that we're talking to at the table. So it is going to be a roadmap that we're going to be able to use to secure more funds for those different projects that will be documented in the plan. And probably, I think, the most exciting part of this is that this is the first opportunity to do a public-private partnership that I'm aware of. I've only been here 5 months, though, so maybe there were other ones. Public-private partnership with the Nature Conservancy. We're hoping that we're going to be able to do more projects with them in the future because, you know, they've got the money and they've got some really great energy behind them. We'd like to be able to harness them in the future. So we recommend approval.
Councilwoman Hepperly?
Thank you, Tracy, for making this presentation. This was originally just going to be on consent agenda, and I asked her to pull it off, so I appreciate that. And I just want to say that the $5.7 million that the coalition received in NRCS grants was awarded because of the innovative practices of the coalition. So just the idea that we're going to have 20 new projects is just really exciting. So.
Yeah, and we'll be able to work with those other partners in the watershed to get those going.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe folks that wouldn't necessarily know what to do to get these things going, we can help them with that.
Mm-hmm. So thank you.
Anything else? Great job. I think that the work you do is, I know it's only been for 5 months.
Yeah, it's
but
only early times.
looking forward, the work you're going to be doing, it's really great to the region, and it's so important, and a lot of people take for granted or they don't realize what exactly goes on with the organization. So with your help, Councilwoman Hepperly's help, I think it's going to be a lot of great projects coming forward, so it's important.
Thank you.
We have a motion, please. Councilwoman Schumacher?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion, seconded by a motion to approve the grant from the Nature Conservancy in the amount of $150,000 on behalf of the Coalition for Stormwater Management Plan for the Upper Verde River Watershed by electronic vote.
We have a second by Councilwoman Dickinson.
I second it.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Awesome, thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item 10, I'll need a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
And a second, please.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Everybody in favor say aye.
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 That passes
you,
unanimously.
Good night, everyone. We do have another meeting coming up, CFD, if you want to stick around for that.